School SIC Committee. They had a meeting, talked to them about the widening of Holland Road, of that work that's being done down there. They have concerns about making sure that shift changes are coordinated so that they don't overlap with the school entrance and exits. And I know Samsung is trying to work with the community around that. And I hope that you will convey to both the middle school and the elementary school and to the corporation our concerns about that, so that we can keep that open dialogue going.
Yes, sir. I'll pass that on and also let you know that Samsung shifts begin after school starts, so we anticipate being in good shape as far as that goes. But I will make sure we're in contact with the schools about that.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Ewing, when do you think the paving project will begin?
For Holland Road,
No, sir, throughout the city?
I'll ask our public works director if he can help me with that. I think that we've got a list together based off of our process that they have received. I'm not sure when they're going to get started, if they've notified us yet.
I'd say within the next month. Right now, we're working with Green Water. They have some streets that were on our list.
Yes.
That are currently, they're planning on tearing up, much like what we went through in Pine Forest last year, where we had some streets and they put, when they put new water lines in. So right now we're scrambling around instead of paving something, have them come back and tear it up. We'll defer that street and move on to the next street on the list.
Thank you, Mr. Twitch.
Mr. Hunter, we will work to have a list of the streets and see if we can get an update for the Public Works Committee meeting for next month's Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Any other questions? Moving on, Chairwoman Geddes will move with reports from departments. Fire.
Thank you. I'd like this time to recognize Chief Stack for his report. Fire Committee.
Thanks, everybody. Response time, 2.8 minutes. Total calls for this year, for this past month, 259, where we had 222 last year. 82 fire, 174 miscellaneous, medical, excuse me. And then overall, year to date, we're at 730 already this year. We were at 660 last year, so our calls are not going down, they are going up.
Any question for Chief Stack? Okay. Police, Chairman Cook.
So that report from our illustrious police chief, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Mayor, Council, you had in your packet for the month our monthly report from the police department. If there's any questions directly related to that, I'll be feel free to take those into this time if there was anything on that.
Just want to make a comment to you, not so much on the report, but the Greenville Journal had a good article about the family court or the youth court activity. I was able to participate or be in the audience for that, and the Mauldin High School kids are doing a good job. If we can expand that in any way, I'm all in favor of you moving that forward. That I was impressed with how they conducted it.
Yeah, there's been some talk about trying to do some expansion on that. Due to the, in my opinion, due to the facilities that we work with, when you talk about using Mauldin High School kids to help implement the process and the Mauldin High School SROs, it's one of those things where it's a good tool, and I wish we had it a couple years ago, because there would be some things that we could have done different in the lives of some kids. But as with anything, when school comes and when school finishes, those kids are gone. Those volunteers are out of here. They're on vacation at Santee, or they're at the beach, or they're at Six Flags. And my SROs, as you know, work with the youth camp during the summer. So that's a portion that's also removed from the equation. So I know it's going to be something that we're going to try to continue through the school year and then kick back up, because as these kids transition, as they go from seniors to college, we lose them. And so it's gonna be a rebuild thing, and, you know, we do teach them modifications on it and things as we go. So it is working, and it's working good. I think they've got one scheduled for tomorrow in here as well, so, yeah, feel free to drop by and check that out, see how that goes. I've got just a couple things, if you'll give me just a few minutes, to discuss, Mr. Cook. It's all in relations to, grant process and applications that we've done, over the last, probably 90 to 120 days. And, there's several grants that we have filed for, and got all the stuff in within the time limits, and gave them all the information they need. And now we're in the waiting process, where sometime mid-October, we'll probably get an answer whether we got or we didn't get. One of those in particular is the VJA grant, which used to be called the Recovery Act Grant, the Edward Byrd Memorial Grant, or JAG grant, as I had previously applied for. That's in the amount, I believe, of $44,838. That is probably one of the more, can't say it's assured because nothing's really assured anymore, but there's a very good chance we'll be receiving that, and that's why that was put on there the agenda for tonight for me to receive any kind of comments from you guys on it, or public comment on it. It's a grant that we're looking at doing to try to enhance some of our response times and things along the lines of trying to maybe purchase some additional vehicles or some additional tools that we can put on vehicles to assist us with our daily response. There's nothing really that you need to do, no kind of action that you need to take on it. I just want to make you aware of it, and let you know that we were pursuing it. I think in total there's about 4 or 5 grants that we currently got out on the table there for personnel. All of these grants are zero cost to the city. There are some stipulation with the personnel ones that we can discuss later on if we're awarded the opportunity before we can receive, which talks about that, you know, at the end of the 3rd year that we agree to pick that person up for another year. But in all, I think it's a total of about $1.5 million worth of grants if we were to get all of those grants that we applied for. So we try to be realistic. I didn't ask for 5, 6, 7, 20 police officers. I asked for what we needed because in my preparing of the budget for you guys, as well as you know, my allocation for personnel, I asked for what I need and what I think I'm gonna need, and I try to let you know what I need. And I try to use the same philosophy with the federal government. Say, hey, this is what I would like to have, not to supplement anything else, just to get by. This is what we need, and I think that will help us out in our pursuit of those grants.
Any question for Chief?
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Mayor, our judicial report, number of new cases filed with municipal court is 320. Number of pending criminal cases as of March 31st, 569. Number of speeding DUI cases as of March 31st, 251. Number of pending traffic cases, March 31st, 901. Number of pending city ordinance cases as of March 31st, 55. Then we have preliminary hearings scheduled for Monday, April the 20th at 9:30 a.m. That's all we have.
Thank you, Mr. Recreation, Chairman Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Brandon, will you come forward and give your report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. You do have our monthly report in your packet. I'll hit some of the highlights. For the previous month, we did hit over 3,000 participants in our senior center. Over the past month, we had a large contingency at our annual brunch and hat contest, was well received by our seniors. And I also want to mention we had a group that just returned on a trip down to Savannah in Charleston. Our youth programs continue to go well. The baseball and softball programs trying to dodge rain, but everything other than that is going well. We did start our cheerleading sign-ups today. And I also want to mention the Miracle League kicked off on Saturday, and they'll be